Yo, what's good? What's happening? We back. Brand new episode of Threes from the Ring. With your boy Chris J. Got the boy Tyler here.
Yo,
Got the boy Charles Sav.
You're
Alright, we all here. And make sure you're watching this, follow us on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe to us on YouTube, Tweeking Media. We appreciate all the support as always. And of course, follow us on Twitter at Threes from the Ring, 3S from the Ring, all one word. But let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to catch up on pretty much a very quick NBA Finals. That's what it outright was, a very quick NBA Finals. We had a gentleman sweep, as most people will call it, as the Boston Celtics pretty much did what they had to do, handled business, won 4-1 against Dallas Mavericks. I know last time we recorded, I think Boston was up 2-0 and pretty much went up 3-0 after that episode, and then proceeded to let the Mavs get one in a historical blowout, very historical, and took it home in Boston, which in very whatever fashion. But hey, either way, as much as I don't like it, I don't care for it, and me not being a Jason Tatum fan in all capacity, shout out to the Celtics. That's all you're getting out of me. But shout out to Drew Holiday, shout out to Jaylen Brown, and shout out to Kristaps Porzingis, man. I'm happy for them niggas. But other than that, I dislike the fact the Celtics won. And I just hope that the Celtics be Celtics again, like we know and love them to be. But shout out to them. They had the best team this whole season. It was literally them and then two tiers down everybody else. So they handled what they were supposed to do, and they finally got over the hump. So I give them their credit where credit is due. But I really just don't care for the niggas. If you've been a fan of this pod, we was anti-Celtics for a very long time, even when Danny Ainge was the front office guy, and we had episodes like Danny Ainge is scared to pull the trigger. Classic episodes when it came to that. And just other various Celtics slander when it came to them niggas. But it's done now. They finally got over the hump. So shout out to them. But Tyler, your thoughts on the Celtics winning the championship? And
I'm glad they finally got over the hump. We finally can stop guessing if they can win it all. They finally proved everybody wrong. So, shout out to them. Like Chris said, I'm not the biggest Celtics fan. He not the biggest Celtics fan but give credit where credit is due. They earned it. They worked their butts off all year. Shout out to whatever Coach Joe Mazzulla was preaching to them. They bought into it, and it worked like a charm. Obviously, other additions made in the offseason definitely helped. That the pick being able to get Drew Holiday is it's probably the Drew Holiday and Porzingis trade. Pickups were probably the turning point moves for them. Like that, I'm pretty sure once they knew that they got them, they could really go for it this season. So, I was looking forward to a more exciting series. But again, you do gotta kind of look at basketball from a realistic perspective. After that first game, I was kind of like, yeah, this ain't gonna pan out how we really think it should go. Dallas just didn't have enough, bro. They had enough to, shout out to, them getting through the East. They had a really good Western Conference run this year. I'm pretty sure that, they're not going to just, hang their hats on this and be like, oh, well, we made it our best shot. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to find ways to improve, which they should. It's definitely other areas where they can improve going into the off season. But yeah, they just didn't have enough. The Celtics were a much deeper team. They came out and got the job done, man. So shout out to them. But in this era, it is very, very hard to forget repeat. It's very hard to make it, even just make it back to the conference finals, let alone repeat in the finals, appearance. So hopefully, they come out with that same intensity. They can keep this group around for a little while so they can continue to compete. But next season will definitely be interesting.
All right, Trail.
I think I think it's kind of sucked that our basketball talk is about to end this fast, really, other than that coaching hire. But I think the writing should have been on the wall, and I think we put too much on Luka being a top five player. Now, I think in order to beat a team like the Celtics, that great of a team, you got to have a top five player that's been there before, like a Curry, like a Braun, like a KD, or something like that, or a Jokic. I think the Nuggets probably weren't gonna win, but I think the Nuggets would at least took it to six, just because you got to beat Jokic four times and stuff like that. So but if you look back on the regular season, the Celtics were so good, and I just got this stat today. The Celtics was such a great team. When Jason Tatum wasn't on the floor, the team actually kind of got better in the sense that when you it's an advanced stat that put all like the stats together of like PR or all that ugly stuff, but it's a scale that this person used that I watched, and it helps dictate the best players in the game. And on that scale, Jason Tatum was like 15. And that's because he didn't have to do all the crazy stuff that Luka, Shai, Bron, Curry, and them had to do because his team was that freaking good, bro. It was so good, bro. Joe Mazzulla proved that he can be a great coach, with uh, the crazy amount of weapons that he had with him, of course. I don't even think the Porzingis trade was the. I think it was the Drew Holiday trade. The Bucks should literally be fined for that. That
They
every
should.
even NBA players
Mhm.
came out and said it's because of Drew Holiday that they win this championship.
Yeah,
NBA
like
players
he's a
came out and
game
said
changing piece.
the Bucks got fleeced, and I wouldn't be surprised if Giannis don't decide to take generational money and pill out. So we are in that situation. We're actually on Giannis watch right now, just because of what they did. And I'm pretty sure Giannis was like, well, "Go get the Dame." But who would have thought that Portland, when they told Drew Holiday, "We don't need you no more," and give him to the Boston Celtics for $4.50? I don't know. So, but shout out to the Celtics. Ah, that sounds horrible. Shout out to the players that play for the Boston Celtics. Um, and shout out to Joe Mazzulla. He wasn't no real Christians, but he a Christian. So shout out to Joe Mazzulla getting it done. Bro said how I feel being the black coach. He was like, I want to know how I feel being a Christian, man. I was like, hey, bro, about that faith. Um, but shout out to it was a good finals. I think Luka gonna have to look himself in the mirror next season and say, I can't rely on the refs. I can't rely on crying. I can't rely on Kyrie. And
Mm.
they got to tool up. Go get a better wing than Derrick Jones Jr. Paul George might be available. Go look for him. Shit, if Draymond available, go look for Draymond.
I said
Um,
the same thing to somebody I was talking to about it at work.
shoot,
Draymond
if
is
Clay
still.
available,
They both, I think, are gonna look better, or at least they should look better in new situations. I think change of scenery helps players sometimes.
I think Draymond would just be better because it helps get the ball out of Luka's hand. that's not like another offensive force, but it's also defense. They
They
had a
need that
hard
defense.
time guarding all them niggas, bro. And Draymond can do something.
Yeah.
So that's really it. I think, man, we disrespected the Celtics because that team was so good, bro. But niggas had, oh wait, Philly can probably make it out this year, or the Knicks looking like the Knicks. That Boston Celtics team was so good, bro, and
Like it's no
people really didn't
they
put no
were
respect
to
on them.
me.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily disrespect. It's just the fact that we've seen them get to this point and they just keep letting it slip through their fingers. And like I said, it was more so like you just gotta game by game, you just gotta show me. Just show me that you can do it. And they pulled it off.
But I think they had a historic playoff run too, and I know people are gonna say, well, their players was gone and stuff like that. And my nigga, you get the hand that's dealt to you, so
Yeah.
and to smack, because there's no excuse on them smacking the Dallas Mavericks like that, bro. No excuse. If you can hold Luka to being average, you can beat Giannis. You can beat Joel Embiid. You can beat them niggas, bro, without any problem. So I think a lot of teams are gonna tool up. I think a lot of teams is gonna go. We don't have to prepare for Denver anymore. We have to prepare to beat the onslaught of the Celtics and what they have on their team. They're really good when it comes to, like, everybody's paid already. That core of Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown is paid. So you
But
really
Jason
ain't
Tatum
got to
didn't
worry
sign
about
his
anything.
$300 million contract. Yeah, I think he's getting that offered this summer.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be next summer?
He's this summer. Either he's this summer or next summer, but they can offer it this summer, which either way, just get out the way.
Yeah.
Because, like, they said at worst, Derek White would probably have to walk. And Derek White is amazing. But you can replace Derek White with somebody that's hungry.
Derek White's like, I think they said he could get up to like 30 mil a year. I'm like, that is insane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, somebody finna give him that shit too.
That's what happens when you give a nigga an
like,
all-star just because.
Like, bro, 30 mil for, like, look, he's a great role player. Like, a great role player. Hustle, all those things. And I know with the new salary scale, things get weird, but $30 million for a non-all-star just sounds insane.
They've been doing it though, man. They've been doing this for at least almost 9 years now. What was that? The summer was that summer 2016 where they was just when they had got the new TV deal and they just start paying everybody anything they wanted.
Yeah, because they was
that Timothy Mozgov contract, man.
Nasty.
Luol Deng contract finally got off the Lakers' books last summer. G, never forget. That man was getting paid up till last summer. He been out the league for like 4-5 years now. G, that's crazy. But yeah, either way, I know the salary scale is always gonna go up, but that just still sounds crazy. $30 million for a role player is crazy, but the best players are gonna get 60, 70 mil a year touching. Yeah. So it's like, okay, this is the new norm. It's just crazy.
If he was to walk, what team you think he would or a team that really would need him?
Whoever can pay him.
I'm pretty sure somebody. I can see him being a backup in I can see him on LA. I can see him in the Lakers uniform.
Man, we're not starting that bullshit. Either way, he's because the Celtics could still keep him. They could just say screw it, we'll be in luxury tax hell. Because technically, yes, you want to keep like your key players are locked up, which is Brown and Tatum. You got Drew for another year or two. And I think you got Porzingis for another year or two. So you're kind of good in regards to anything. I think they got their draft picks. I think they do. So you can still just develop young, because the way the new salary CBA set up, you're kind of screwed. So they already over the cap because of the contracts of Tatum and Brown's going to be disgusting. Plus, you already got Porzingis' contract, you got Drew's contract. I think if you keep your players, you going over, but it's just now you're kind of stuck in hell. But it's Boston; they don't really care to an extent.
It's just whether or not they really want to spend the money or not. That's really what it comes down to.
I think they will. I think they will. Just because for one, you finally got over the hump. It'd be one thing if they lost this year. Then yes,
Then yeah, a couple people probably gonna have to split.
yeah. So at that, but like you won. Like I say, if you choose to let Derek White walk, that's fine. But it's at the same time, it's like you invested in Porzingis because you traded you for him. So it's like you want to more likely keep him. So Derek White is kind of the ass man out, unfortunately. Pause, and you just figure it out from there. But either way, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Like your two best players, they're entering the prime of their careers. And you just figure it out. Like you have, like at this point, they'll figure it out because this new CBA is gonna make things rough for everybody. That's why this offseason is gonna be comical. That's why Paul George is gonna look hurt that he's gonna be playing for the Magic because he wants that max contract. So, like, hey, because teams ain't trying to go over the luxury tax because the penalties are extreme. So we'll see where things go in regards to all of that. But let's go ahead and move on to the other team that was brought up, the Lakers. So, so the Lakers coaching search is finally over. So, what was it? 3 weeks ago, JJ Redick was pretty much guaranteed to get the job. Then, out of nowhere, Dan Hurley was thrown into the search. And if you don't know who Dan Hurley is, he's the coach of UConn men's basketball program. Dan Hurley was in the search, and then he said, "No, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna try to get a three-peat," which I respect. Even though I think they lost. I think they lose their top two best players this year in the draft. So good luck. So he chose to stay. He's about to get that bag anyway. He's probably gonna get almost like right over 100 mil from UConn. So shout out to him. So then JJ Redick's name comes back into the hunt. But this is the plot twist that kind of made you kind of think like, Monty Williams gets fired. Monty Williams getting fired throws everything all the way off. So everybody's like, oh, JJ Redick might not actually get the job. The Lakers should just hire Monty Williams. He's experienced. He has coached Anthony Davis. He has coached the Suns to the finals. He has success outside of the Pistons. Why not just hire him? Before we even hear about the interview, that he gets an interview, because at this point, I think Monty Williams just want to chill and count his money, G, which I respect. Shout out to you, black man. But that's the system. But either way, JJ Redick is now officially the Lakers head coach. He's, I think, 4 years, but the Lakers don't like keeping coaches beyond 2 years. It's as much people try to say that LeBron's a coach killer, which is cap. Y'all need to look at the history of the Lakers coaches. That organization kills coaches, but that's a different story for later.
It's only been 2 coaches since Phil Jackson retired in 2011 that's coached more than 2 seasons with them. Exactly. I think that was Byron Scott.
That's unfortunate.
But did Vogel only did 1 season, right?
No, he did 3.
Vogel did 3?
I thought he did 2.
No, he did 3. The championship year, the
year after, and the Russell Westbrook year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Byron Scott and Vogel.
Yeah, the Rush year got him fired pretty much. But either way, just look at the history. That team has gone through coaches always. But JJ Redick's your current new head coach. It was inevitable once his name was thrown into the conversation. It was a matter of okay, when than anything else. So we're at a point now of just like, all right, is he going to be really, really bad, or is he going to be good? And I think it's one of the two for me when it comes to JJ Redick. He's been wanting to be a coach. He's been in the conversation. So this, to me, it's a matter of okay, bro, do you got it or not? That's just to me what it sounds like. Is either do you got it or not? Because some people saying it could be it's like it could be a Steve Kerr type situation where it's just like you're surprised he got it, but it's just and then next thing you know, Steve Kerr does what he does with the Warriors. Then you have a situation of um so yeah, but either way, we're seeing where things go, but it's either he's gonna do really good, I won't say really good, or he's gonna be really bad. It's one of the two. But shout out to JJ Redick getting that job. Tyler, your thoughts?
Um, just generally speaking, I don't think I'm gonna say this. People that are up in arms about him getting the job, whether you think it's connected to, him and LeBron's podcast or whatever, at the end of the day, JJ Redick, since he really wanted to be a coach, he's probably gonna get there at some point anyway. Now, if I was him, I wouldn't have wanted to take the Lakers job, but we don't know what his motivation for wanting to take that job specifically is anyway, because I'm pretty sure he could have got on anybody's coaching staff and worked his way up or did anything or whatever. But just in general, shout out to JJ. He got a coaching job. That's what's up. He definitely has a tall task ahead of him just to coach this team, not even thinking about, get to the playoffs and all this other stuff. It's like you gotta learn the ropes and everything. But I don't think it's that. Only reason it's a big deal is because it's the Lakers' job. And it's when LeBron's in his last couple of years in the league. So I don't think it's that big of a deal in terms of how everybody else is making it out to be. But basketball's over. We got to have something to talk about, I guess. So
pretty much. But
I hate, bro. I can't wait till Braun retire, bro. I literally can't wait. Now we're gonna get on the Victor Wembanyama, what's happening, tour. But if and when Braun retire, it's gonna bring so much less stress in my life because so many redundant conversations. Will the Lakers win a championship with JJ Redick? No. Okay. So we gotta realize what's the point JJ Redick is getting hired. Now, if it's a way for Braun to have more hands-on approach to how the team goes, just shout out to that. I mean, shout out to the chess move. I don't know. I think people put more conniving things on Braun, even though he's not like that. You know what anybody know what I'm trying to say? Like
yeah,
they put more LeBron as a.
That's why I said it's. I don't think it's that.
Yeah, like
they make it seem like he has like
the Lakers in like a chokehold as an organization.
Yeah.
And I think the Lakers themselves have their own chokehold because they always want to be seen as a organization that treats stars like stars. You know what I'm saying? Jeannie Buss still has that founding mentality, and I think in this era of basketball, you kind of got to be ruthless.
For sure.
But other than that, I just think honestly, like I can see if this was like a Bron, they want Bron and JJ to run the team. But then again, I don't even think this is you hire JJ as your coach. Cool. This shouldn't be a spotlight on JJ Redick because they're going to lose regardless. They're not going to make it to the finals. They can have a run in the East, but as that roster constructed right now, they're not winning a finals. the spotlight should be on Rob. I only got my job because of the Black Mamba Palinka, bro. That's it. That's all. You have to build a roster to at least look good. Or you sit Bron down to meet. You sit AD down to meet and say, it's Bron Twilight years, draft picks time. You might have to go all in this year because I think this year New Orleans has the pick swap. So whoever has the worst, I think New Orleans gets. So this year is probably smack. So you're not gonna get like Cooper Flag or anything like that. But whoever coming out next year, if it's Victor Wembanyama's brother or something like that, which I heard is a thing, you go for it.
Yes.
You know, you Bron last year, you tank. Because he signed a 2-year deal. He signed a 2-year extension, a 2-year max, however you want to say. You give him that money to keep butts in seats. You try your best this year, and when it don't work out, ship AD to where he want to go, ship Austin Reeves to where he want to go, and call it a day. And let them go fight for a chance to win a championship. And you let Bron walk off the court with his go home tour, hitting each arena and stuff like that, continuously to extend his record. And the king out. You retire his jersey, you call it a day. Like, that's it. I don't think but Rob Pelinka should probably lose his job after Bron retired up. Because again, LeBron James being your free agent pool was not you. That was Magic freaking Johnson. The big A himself. That was he did that. The only thing you did in that seat so far is get Anthony Davis on that team. And the only reason you was able to get Anthony Davis is because of Anthony Davis' agent telling every other team this is a 1-year rental. AD plans to be a Laker when his contract comes up. If it wasn't for that, Anthony Davis will probably be a Boston Celtics right now.
Translation: rich gang.
Like
gang.
there's Rob Pelinka literally got a LeBron James because of Magic Johnson, and Magic convinced him he can win a championship here. And Rich Paul for being the greatest agent in sports. That's it. That's it. Other than that, if you could tell me what Rob Pelinka did good, missed out on Jason Tatum in the draft, pick Lonzo Ball, stupid. Before that, missed out on Jaylen Brown in the draft, pick Brandon Ingram, stupid. Philly got a hold of that.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one, G. Nobody was expecting Jaylen Brown to be this.
Okay. Yeah. Last draft, missed out on Palominski, pick Jalen Hood-Schifino. Jalen Hood-Schifino played all but 50 minutes last year.
I don't know. He got on the court last year at all. So shout out to him if he did.
What was the point? Palominski for the Warriors was, I think, their 4th best scorer.
Like, he started. What are we doing? Clay's job.
What'd you say?
He took Clay's job.
Like, what we doing, bro? What we doing? So, and then you got to work 10 times harder because you already work for the Lakers. Nobody likes the Lakers. Nobody want to trade with the Lakers. You got to work 10 times harder. Be at that team. Again, I just think Rob Pelinka should get fired, bro. And you go out and you find a better. Now, mind you, it's one thing to be the coach of the Lakers. It's another thing to be the GM. I think people will claw their way to be the GM of the Lakers because you could be the one responsible for bringing a championship in LA and be loved. But that's all I gotta say. I can go on a bigger rant about how Rob Pelinka needs to lose his job, but I won't.
I think we'll save that conversation. We'll go on this conversation throughout the offseason, either way.
Yeah. Especially if there are some moves that I think the Lakers should take and they didn't take. Like if DeJounte Murray not gonna be on that team by the end of the season, we gotta slander LeBron. I mean, we gotta slander what's his face. Like if Rui Hachimura is still on that team, shout out to Rui. I respect you, but you ain't that good. Like you gotta talk to Rob. So, but Shout out to JJ Redick. Get that money. I can't be mad at somebody getting money. Stephen A. just mad because nobody wants to do a podcast with him, so he can be complaining about JJ using black coaches as a way to say JJ Redick don't deserve that job, bro.
Yeah, when he
Yeah.
said that, bro, I don't usually accuse that man of being a liar, but honest to God, I think he was lying about
Who
that. Like
told him
for real,
that?
for real.
Mark Jackson been wanting the job since 2015. That's the
Mark
only person I can
Jackson
believe who told him
ain't
that.
getting
I
another
don't
job,
even think
bro.
Mark. I think Mark Jackson is good, bro. I don't even think he care
Nah, he said he want to be a
because
coach.
he could. But I don't think he cared that much. Where he's like, "Damn, JJ got the job. Well, I ain't got one." I don't think he. I don't think he. I don't think Mark Jackson that type of dude though.
But if you get a fat head nigga like Stephen A. saying, "Hey, how you feel?" JJ Redick never coached a game. The Lakers never even called you. How did you feel? So like, one, fuck that nigga Stephen A. But two, shout out, like I said, shout out to JJ. What we really can't be mad. Like, literally can't be mad. So shout out to him.
Hey, either way, shout out to JJ. We'll see where things go. Uh, either way, right now everything goes back to Rob Pelinka. G. That's the moral of it all. It goes back to brother Rob Pelinka, and we're gonna go from there. But that's really it, basketball wise. There's not really much else we need to really discuss. Uh, the Olympics is in a few weeks next month, I believe. So we'll be discussing how Bron, Steph, and KD is going to elbow drop the entire world. Um, so that's gonna be fun. Uh, shout to Chicago Sky. They finally beat the Indiana Fever. So by one at that. So but Angel Reese had a good game today. She had 25 and 15 or 26 and 15. So shout out to that good comeback victory, because if they lost again to the Fever, gee, that like gee, I'm tired of the race war with that shit. But either way, but shout out to Chicago Sky doing their thing. Shout out to Angel Reese. She's playing a good stretch of basketball. Even shout out to Caitlin Clark, because she's playing a good game of basketball. Press Cameron Brink. That's pristine milk right
Yeah,
there.
she just
Yeah,
tore
she
her
tore her ACL.
ACL.
Yeah, she just tore her ACL. But prayers up to her. Tough out. And beware of the Liberty and beware of the Aces, because the Aces probably about to go on a crazy run because they just got their starter point guard back. So God bless y'all. But either way, check out the WNBA. Make sure you watch games, support
Women's
them.
basketball in Vegas got to be crazy, bro. They probably lit out there.
Anyway, but I'm not gonna say a word in regards to that. Either way,
I'm just saying, they probably having
no.
fun.
Jokes aside, they do a good job supporting, because when I was in Vegas, in April, they did have like jerseys. You did see like billboards, so I will give them that.
Speaking of which, was there any other update on that situation that they had where they were getting like the players were getting paid by like some type of sponsorship or something, and then they had to get investigated by the league or something?
I don't know, nor do I care. Yeah, I don't care. Anyway, let's go ahead. We're just gonna make this a smooth transition. We're gonna go straight into wrestling, but let me just let the logo play. All right, we're back. So, wrestling. Wrestling has been fun. Wrestling has been about hate. Wrestling has been about violence this past week. So, the easiest way to even start back on where this all has attributed to, you got to go back to Clash of the Castle, which was last weekend. So, as I about to pull up that card, let me go ahead and pull that up. But Clash of the Castle was really another solid pay-per-view that took place in Scotland. So shout out to that. Shout out to what they doing over there. All right, so Clash of the Castle. So we're going to recap that pay-per-view real quick for you guys, because that's how we gonna get this show on the road. So the pay-per-view, and I was right on the last episode that this wasn't going to main event, but
Yep.
Cody versus AJ opened the show with an I Quit match. Very decent I Quit match. We had violence, we got blood, and Cody was really about to get real violent with the mans by making them quit via about to destroy the man with a steel chair with steel steps while handcuffed. Pause. That's crazy. But either way, thoughts on the match?
It was pretty solid. Uh, I like how people are kind of. Hold on, let me pause this. I like how people are kind of when they see WWE do certain stuff now. This like this whole thing is like, oh, now we're real wrestling is back and stuff like that. And I'd be thinking like, I thought y'all said real wrestling is back when AEW has a match where somebody's bleeding every other match almost every week. But the match itself was cool. Like I said in the group chat, bro, they following the Cena '05 starter pack for Cody's first championship run. It's going almost the exact same way. His next title defense is probably going to be in a triple threat.
You mean so he's fighting two solos?
No, well, one of his title defenses is going to be in a triple threat. Probably not the next one, but
I'm about to say, unless Solo about to clone himself, G.
Hey, we'll get to that next. But the match was cool. I kind of wonder what's next for AJ coming out of this match.
Well, he's actually doing.
I know he's got
thing.
He's got an interpromotional match coming up soon, which is cool. I like how they especially for AJ. AJ being able to go back to Japan is really cool. I think that's going to be really fun for him. But just kind of like AJ's in that stage where I don't know if he's like has any plans of retiring, within the next 2 years or anything like that. But he's in that stage where he's kind of winding down too. So interested to see where where the rest of his career takes him while he's still here. But yeah, the match was cool. It was what I expected it. Cody's his storylines are getting a little bit more interesting now.
Yeah. Trail, your thoughts on the I Quit match?
It was decent. I enjoyed it. I think they did a good job for the most part. And damn, I gotta piss. I think they did a good job for the most part. I really enjoyed the match itself. Cody went full Super Cena like we all predicted. This Super Cena Cody run is coming together. And it's all going to end with him facing The Rock. It's insane, bro. But it is a very good Super Cena. I like it. It's a Super Cena run with some edge to it. But shout out to Cody. He's more over. People was going, they're going to start booing Cody. Yeah, okay. That nigga white, and he cool. And he got a banger theme song. He is impossible to be booed at the moment. Yeah. So I rocks with it. For AJ, yeah, he going to Japan, but like people do this thing of saying they're not using AJ correctly, they're not using Shinsuke correctly. Them niggas in their high 40s at this point. Let them do a couple feuds and rest the rest of the time. That's perfectly fine. Like, let the young guys take over. I love Shinsuke Nakamura as much as the next guy, but he old. AJ had an all-time run in that company, bro. An all-time run in which they gave him his own show. So I don't want to hear it, okay? So shout out to Cody. Shout out to AJ. They did their thing. I have to piss, so yeah.
All right, go ahead. We'll talk about the next one. Next was the women's triple threat tag match. So this match got people talking, unfortunately. How would I phrase it? It was a fun match. It was messy at points. That's the best way to describe it. And of course, people are over analyzing one specific person and their mess ups, and that was one Jade Cargill, where she did botch a something a rope, pretty much a springboard.
It was
Pretty
a
much she
tag,
botched that.
springboard,
Yeah,
tag into
yeah,
a springboard.
yeah. She botched that. But either way, like, come on now, y'all watch a show, a company where it's multiple botches week in all their weekly shows, and Jade has been kind of cool most of the time. So come on now. But either way, I still liked it. It was a fun match. This was the shocker decision because I really, for one, I thought like I thought they wasn't
I'm
gonna
back.
lose it here. I really thought they was gonna Jade and Bianca was gonna hold the belt maybe another month, but I think I see what they're doing. I think I see it, but we'll talk about that once we get to the weekly shows. But uh Alba Fire and
Isla Dawn.
Isla Dawn won the belts. Nice for one. The hometown crowd got a title change, which is good. Shout out to Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Prayers to her, Alba Fire, because she did like it was confirmed that she did lose her mother. We mentioned it last week, but it is confirmed. I didn't want to say the wrong thing. So, but sad news in regards to that, but a good feel good moment for them as a whole. So you went in your hometown, you performed in your hometown, home country. So you love to see moments like that. So which is pretty dope. Your thoughts on the tag match?
I thought it was cool. I definitely I wasn't expecting that to be the title change, but I definitely think that they made the right decision making the title change there for that moment. For one, I think that moment was definitely special for them. Um, I think just keeping us on our toes. You know, we didn't. We know I don't think anybody was really expecting them to lose there. So I think surprise title changes like that. I think that's cool. I'm fine with that. That
Agreed.
unexpected stuff is what makes wrestling interesting.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the direction of what they plan to do with Bianca and Jade, I think they probably try to get the titles back maybe, and then maybe falter in some way, and then maybe they start to build, into whatever their feud may end up being. So that situation in itself is always going to be interesting. And I'll even go back because a year ago, before they even signed Jade, I was like, I did not want this to. I was a part of the crowd that didn't want to put them together right away because I didn't necessarily think that they needed to be together right away. But for what it's worth, it definitely it makes a lot of sense right now. You got her with Bianca. Bianca is arguably, one or two, one A, 1B when it comes to the women stars in the company right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think having pairing her up with her makes the most sense now because Bianca can. It's not that Jade needs anybody to carry her. It's just adjusting to a new style. It's a very interesting predicament because Jade herself, obviously, she's a star, but she doesn't have the same. She's not used to the structure yet. So having her with somebody that's at the top of the card, like a Bianca or even a Becky or anybody that's up there right now. But Bianca makes the most sense because she's able to kind of, like I said, not carry but more so coach her along the way. I think it's easier for her to coach her.
Mm-hmm. And plus, like she's wrestling talent on a weekly basis that's way better. Like majority of talent on WWE roster is way better than who she was going against in AEW at the time. Because you gotta remember, they just threw her against Muggs, who's just as inexperienced than she was.
Yeah, and
So
they were
now she's
always like
fighting.
squash matches. It's like now
Yeah,
she has legit matches made for her to go the distance in a way.
exactly. Like she's going against experienced talent who are either a ring generals themselves, who's going to help her while in ring, but also make her look good in the process. So it's just like you telling me that you couldn't do this, but at the same time, we're slanted that company at shortly. But either way, shout out to that match. It was a fun match, decent match. Uh, we'll move on to next, which is Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable. This was, to me, my match of the night. Uh, Definitely a really fun match. The storyline, like, one, shout out to Sammy making this story. Like, Chad Gable in his part as well, Otis in Alpha Academy as well, but just everybody's involvement, great.
Yeah, like this
Enjoying
is a
it.
fun feud.
Yeah, it's been a very fun feud. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Nice mid card feud, something just to get us going, and also selling us on Chad Gable as a heel. Now, I do still believe he will be the champion eventually, unless that belt gets on Braun Breaker's hands. If not, if it gets to Braun Breaker, God bless, because he's gonna hold that belt for a minute.
It's not coming off Braun for a while,
He's
but
gonna hold that belt for a minute.
they got another, like, it's a now just this past Monday they made the situation with the Intercontinental Championship even more interesting, because now you're putting Sheamus back in the mix again. Sheamus still is on the chase to get the title he hasn't had yet. Braun Breaker, like you said, he's the up and comer. He's pretty much running through everybody. You know, that belt is, once it gets on him, it's gonna be there for a while. But I do think Chad Gable should be the one to take it off Sammy, at least for a little bit, and then maybe Sammy gets it back, and then he drops it to Braun at some point, because I think that's a good. I think, well, either way, I think Braun versus either of them could be a really good transition. But
Yeah, no,
the story between Chad and Sammy, and then Chad dealing with you know, Alpha
the Alpha
Academy,
Academy fallout, because
not
that's kind of where we're going next.
yeah.
As well. Well, yeah, that's where we're going next, because I don't think the little thing we saw at the end of Monday mattered much. but yeah, but either way, it's a good match. It was definitely a good match. Good story driven match. And hey, Chad Gable definitely one of the ones, G. Like, you gotta remember, the man was Shorty G at one point, and he earned his name back, and he's been hustling, G. So respect. Trail, you back? I don't think he's back yet. But either way, shout out to that match. Really good match. The next was Bayley versus
Piper Niven.
Piper Niven. So cool match. Piper Niven got her hometown match. Shout out to them. Shout out to her. Bayley won. Really good match though. Still a good match. Just like, people trying to get on Cody and even Damien's title run saying they're boring. I'm sorry. Bayley has yet to do anything of significance with this belt, and no, like I said, this has nothing to do with Piper Niven and all of that. But it's just Bayley's just really been reeling it in, like, hey, I got the belt, but it's like, here, the fact that, okay, you got to keep Bianca away from her, you got to keep Jade away from her. So that's two of your biggest competition going. Tiffany Stratton and Naomi, you had a good triple threat match with them, but at the moment, you don't want to pull it. I can't even imagine Naomi as a heel unless you put her. But even then, you can't put her with this iteration of the bloodline. But with Naomi, it can't work because her whole theme is colors. You can't.
Yeah, Naomi is like the Rey Mysterio of women's wrestlers. Like, it's hard. It would be very hard for her to hate.
You have to legit turn everything around for her to be a heel. So, like, you can't turn her heel. You can't turn her against Bayley. Like, but even though Triple H has, like, you have to kind of turn Bayley into that tweener role again. But so, of course, she has to go get, like, Tiffany Stratton isn't ready yet. Of course, you're keeping her busy. You just introduced Blair Davenport this past Friday. That's somebody who she can have a run-in with in the near future. But so now you kind of just throwing people at her at the moment. And now, with at least with her and Nia, you can run that for the rest of the summer, which is good.
Mm.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, afterwards, we need somebody else. Like by then, you need to at least establish Blair Davenport. You established a heel Bianca Belair by then, because Collision Course is happening. It's happening. But so it's just a matter of time when it comes to that. But it's just you kind of have to do some significance with Bayley's title run before, or matter of fact, Charlotte is on the way back too.
Yeah.
I think that's a collision course as well, because Big Charlotte coming. So with Charlotte come back, that changes
Hey, don't ever
everything.
say that shit ever again, Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry. Damn.
Don't ever. I heard collision course Charlotte, bro. We don't need to see her with a belt no more, bro. I don't never
Look,
want
G,
to hear that.
it's happening.
Right.
Happening.
I don't know why Chris want to put a belt on Charlotte. Somebody
I
got
didn't say it put a belt. I'm just saying that Charlotte is coming. Pause.
Yeah, come on.
Look, man,
Come on, Charlotte coming, bro.
Hey, look, bro.
My bad. Go ahead, bro. I don't want to hear that.
But hey, look, G, I'm just saying, like, Bayley needs meaningful opponents now in a meaningful storyline, because it's just among like title holders, she probably has the least intrigue with her belt right now, at least with her, because like I'd really be forgetting that she has the women's belt at the moment. I hate to say that. So it's just, for me, it's time to, like, at least now with her going against Nia is like gives her somebody where it's like, okay, I believe you're going to lose or can lose until we get heel Bianca or the person that you don't want to be named. It's going to occur, or Tiffany Stratton just goes on a crazy run. But even then, I think they really might want to try to. I'm hoping they don't, but they're probably going to turn Tiffany Stratton into a face, which I think is a bad idea.
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I would say she's my pick to win Money in the Bank, but I would not be surprised if she doesn't. I think it could really be a toss up again this year.
It really is. But yeah, but either way,
it's like it's with her. It's like she could win it, but she don't necessarily need it, because the way she portrays herself as a heel, she can sneak her way into certain situations.
Yeah, like we'll see what's going on. But either way, it is what it is. Next, it's the main event. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Great freaking match. Yeah. Really great match. Despite Damian almost losing the leg. But shout out to really great match. Straight and once again, Drew gets screwed in his hometown in the most dramatic way possible. For one, shout out to that camera angle.
The camera work has been so good, bro.
Yes, shout
like to that we obviously we kind of was like, okay, they purposely not showing it to us because it's got to be somebody, but it's like we know, bro. We knew.
The moment I saw the slick back hair, I'm like, there's nobody else with there's no referee with slick back hair. So I'm like, and then it was just you're telling me that CM Punk isn't going to come screw this man out? Pause. Screw him out of winning the belt. So I'm glad they did it in this manner as well, because CM Punk is known to be a man of all trades. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at the whole situation as a whole. So that led to Punk kicking him in the nuts. And from there, man's got a south of heaven, whatever the heck Damian calls his finisher. Damian retains. I'm sad that we're probably getting Gunther versus Damian at this point, because that's the route is looking.
We might not, because remember Seth came back. He's got.
I'm not buying it, G. I'm sorry. I can't see it right now, G. I can't.
I don't think that they're gonna put the belt back on Seth right away. I think they're gonna thrust him into another situation, But again, I could see some sort of triple threat coming up for the world title at SummerSlam, and Gunther still, pins whoever or
That's a
both.
possibility. It's a possibility, but either way. But Trill, your thoughts?
I don't see that. I think Damian gets it and loses to Gunther at SummerSlam. Gunther said he walking into Germany with that belt, so he's gonna
Yeah.
walk into Germany with that belt. Um, I think I hate when champions get overshadowed with a better feud, but this feud is so good. It's like, man, I hate to be you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
And
I
it's been
think
like that since even before he cashed in. It's like it's just been situations where we rock with Damien, but it's like the situations that he's up against are just bigger than him.
yeah,
Pretty much.
you know, but I think this feud is so good. They got the best feud in wrestling right now, and it's not even close. Again, Tony gonna have to pay for his sins for letting Punk go. You don't do that. uh,
Even though the man wasn't happy, man.
shit. If he ain't happy, he ain't happy. I ain't letting you go though.
Sure.
When I saw when I saw them doing pivoting to the Punk versus Damien. I mean Punk versus um Drew feud. It's kind of like this is a good pivot. You can still save Rollins and Punk to Mania, right? But the layers of this feud is so told so well. Punk loses what he wanted his whole entire career. He loses his WrestleMania main event. And all Drew does is troll him the whole entire time. T-shirts, this, that. Drew wins to get that main event match at the Chamber. Still talks about Punk. So Punk get his get back by costing Drew the title. And what does Punk do? Joke with him, memes, and things of that nature. And it just shows how like this story is not just the I hate you, you hate me thing. They like Drew asked for this and he got it. But Drew didn't know. Drew was handling it different than Punk did. Because if you saw SmackDown, some dastardly deeds going on. But
Brutalized that man.
I just think like this feud got so many layers. It's so good because we forget like what Drew was doing when we found out Punk was injured. I ended CM Punk's career. He's not getting the main event at Mania because of me. Punk gets a get back, and by just the great storytelling, people are feeling sympathetic for Drew.
Mm.
And it's like, he brought it on himself. So, again, I think at Clash, this was a perfect time for you to make him lose because you create an even bigger monster of a heel. And if he don't come off a monster of a heel, you can't go wrong because now he comes off of a sympathetic babyface, and Punk knows how to play a heel. So, either way it goes, you win the win. Again, Tony Khan gonna have to pay for his sins for letting that man go. I feel sorry for him at this point. Punk still got it, and he will. I don't know how they're gonna do him when it comes to him wrestling when he comes back. Hopefully, he's full time. I pray he's full time. But if he's not, it'd be like that. Because for some bad reason, it don't even seem like Gunther's full time, and it's like I'm just so confused on that. But Gunther is getting that belt at SummerSlam. If it's Damian Priest getting chopped to hell, if it's Seth Rollins getting chopped to hell, if it's whoever wins that Money in the Bank getting chopped to hell, they all getting chopped to hell. It's Gunther's time, the ring general, and he's gonna have a decent, probably lose his belt at Mania. I mean, probably lose his belt at like the Rumble type feud. You know what I mean? You probably drop it Rumble, TLC, or something like that. But all winter long, all late summer, late fall long, we're gonna have Reign for Gunther, and it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be really, really good. So, because you can't have a bad match for Gunther, it's impossible.
You really can't.
Impossible.
Yeah.
You really can't. But yeah. So
all things considered, though, if we do get Damian versus Gunther, I don't think it's gonna be a bad match at all. And like again, we keep forgetting that it's eventually gonna. I think that's when it gets to the climax of his breakup or his split from the Judgment Day. I think whatever happens there, that's where they they turn on him.
Pretty much, that's what it's looking like. It's leading to. So we'll see where things go. But moving on. So we're still on the post clash because this led to a lot of violence. So we enter Raw, and matter of fact, Ty, I'll let you lead. So with Raw,
kind of forget certain parts, but basically the show started off with the unexpected return of Seth Rollins, because honestly, I wasn't thinking Seth Rollins was coming back until maybe like around Survivor Series at the earliest. I thought he was going to sit out for a minute because I thought he just got surgery too. But Seth Rollins is back, still wearing the Met Gala fits, and he said he was. What did he say? He's back. He's coming back to reclaim what was taken from him. He originally was gonna put in his bid to be in Money in the Money in the Bank ladder match, but then Damian Priest came out. I can't wait until they take him out of this situation that he's in, because I don't like how he cuts his promos. He doesn't come off. He, like a year ago, I was cool. He was cool. Like he's putting on heel promos. It's like now it's like he's trying to get cool points with everybody that he's talking to, and I don't understand that. But he basically came out himself and challenged Seth and said, "I wanted to beat you at WrestleMania for that belt, and I need to. This is my real test. So it's gonna be him and Seth 1-on-1 at Money in the Bank." I don't see Seth taking the belt off of him unless they really want Gunther to have a 5-star type of match at SummerSlam. And again, I don't think Gunther versus Damian would be a bad match at all. But star power, takes over.
Star power, you kind of want that to happen. Like you kind of want it, G.
Yeah.
Even if he don't beat Seth at SummerSlam, because I know Gunther said he wants to go into Germany with the belt, you give that feeling of like, hey, I want my rematch in my hometown, and go from there.
Yeah. So that happened. More Money in the Bank qualifying matches happened. I think so Jey Uso qualified from Money in the Bank. All roads considered, it's looking like Jay could really win Money in the Bank, but I think something's going to happen where he doesn't win, depending on who else qualifies. He doesn't need it. But the way that they're building it, they're making it seem like Jay is the one. Like he looks like, I'm not gonna lie, like they built him up to look like the biggest star in that match. So it makes sense for them to, for us to think that he would win.
Hey, look, bro, get ready for Jay versus Uncle Howdy, bro. Just enjoy.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to next.
No, it's Jay versus Uncle Howdy. Have fun. Worst match incoming, G. Well, Bo Dallas ain't a bad performance, but still.
So that happened. Even though I kind of don't like the fact that it was a triple threat, because I wanted Finn to be in the ladder match too. But
you could, man, they're gonna have that last chance thing, but at the same time, you could just finesse Finn into, because Finn and Damian is gonna happen eventually. So
yeah, but that happened. Then you had the Chad Gable coming out and basically staking his claim again, like I should have won that match, yada yada yada. Sammy comes out and says you can't get the job done. You're not me. You're not him. Then Sheamus comes out. No, Braun Breaker comes out and is like, I know y'all seen what I've been doing around here. Putting people through cars and whatnot. I'm next. I'm him. Then Sheamus came out and said, fella, I've been chasing this damn title for 11 years. Let me get a shot. So everybody's vying for their shot at the Intercontinental Championship. I think we had Sheamus versus versus Braun Breaker later that night too. It was a pretty solid match. I don't think it didn't it ended in a no contest because interference. Ludwig Kaiser came out. Another guy I'm liking his work right now. I like how they're kind of building his singles prowess at the moment. I think they got another guy on their hands that can really hold his own in the mid card at some point. He's been screwing Sheamus over, kind of keeping him from throwing him off track. But Braun Breaker said, this my time. He tried to how like he tries to do that whole thing where he tries to smash somebody's knee into the steps.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker came around the corner and popped his ass.
So yeah, that was look, once again, production team. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah,
I like the fact that you kind of in a way building Braun Breaker correctly. And that's one thing I will appreciate about the Triple H era. Dudes is gonna be tweeners. And I appreciate that. Somebody like Braun Breaker, if you're gonna build up a total badass type persona who just I'm all about violence and kicking you downstairs if necessary because you messing with me, you should be a tweener.
Yeah.
Just me personally. So like I appreciate that he doesn't need to fall because at the end of the day he's all about I'm about to kick your ass, G. You ain't gonna outshine me, nothing like that. So it works. I think at one point we did have the Otis walking out on Chad Gable thing, so that officially occurred. So
they all walked out on him.
Yep.
We just wait to see when he's gonna have Alpha have the Creed brothers pop up.
Yeah, because they need something to do. But yeah, and then let's just fast forward to the most important thing. I won't say the most important thing, and that is the Wyatt Six or what the heck they want to pronounce it as.
Sickos, man.
They debuted it and pretty much destroyed the gorilla area, as I would guess it's called. And Chad Gable got shot in the head, which I'm like, okay. But either way,
that shot back there that say they think they saw Gunther, but I don't think that was him.
Yeah, Gunther wasn't there. It was the main notable people was just Chad Gable and Braun. That was really it.
Yeah.
But either way, that occurred, and pretty much everybody was happy. It's cool. It's just weird to do an angle like this without the main man himself. Especially since the last time we saw Uncle Howdy / Bo Dallas, that man jumped off something and missed LA Knight by a country mile. So oh man!
When I saw that, I thought he slipped. Yeah, I thought it was
look. I don't care. That man missed that man by a country mile, G. But Nature, your thoughts on the YS6 debut?
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. This I know was crazy because when I was watching it, Ashley was like, "What the hell am I watching?" I'm like, "This is wrestling." She was like, "Okay." That's when you know something. Like, okay, this is wild. But it was cool. But I'm very curious on how things go with it. But it's a collision course. It's them and Jay. Well, Jay and them is going to be the main thing. Like it's the title scene is too clustered or at least booked at the moment for Jay to have any involvement. They already put the fireflies on Jay because of his little 90s hip hop thing that he does. And so it's like, oh, he controls the fireflies. He acknowledged it post WWE thing. So it's just like, hey. Oh, speaking of which, Kayla Braxton, she left WWE.
Oh yeah.
So
I did hear about that.
Yeah, so shout out to her moving on to her future endeavors. To me, it sounds like she got an ESPN job. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, that's usually what it leads to. That's what happened with what was her name? Charlie Caruso. She went to
Fox. I think she went to Fox. No, she was doing both.
She went to ESPN at first, and then she signed like full on with Fox after that.
But so either way, I think it's either or, but I think the most logical one is ESPN. I'm like, hey. But so shout out to her and her future to wherever she's going to next. Or she might be going to E, for all we know. But she said it was
that's
offer that she couldn't refuse. So to me, it sounds like ESPN. So,
well, I'm excited for her. You know, she's done a really, really good job backstage. I always enjoyed her backstage segments with Paul Heyman. She was never hesitant to get to the meat of the situation with him and, you know, kind of pressing his buttons. Hopefully they could find somebody that can. I'm pretty sure they can, but you know, hopefully they find somebody that enjoys the role that she had with WWE as much as she did, because she definitely made some fun interactions backstage.
Yeah, definitely. So shout out to her. But moving on to SmackDown. SmackDown was once again cool episodes, very Cody Bloodline fluent episode with CM Punk. This is where we get all the way with violence here.
Yeah.
So CM Punk appears, and he, of course, is Chicago. So hot Chicago crowd, sold out. Another company can't do that. Sold out arena. CM Punk appears, does CM Punk things. Then you hear the Solo's Bloodline theme occur. That man had a velvet shirt on, like I do when I go to church on first Sundays, on first Sundays of the month. So, hey. Respect it, but also you're not me. Either way, moving on. Cody comes out, says, hey, nah, this ain't gonna fly here with bats. We move on. Some point, we expecting, like I already kind of felt Drew was going to pop up because he did quit. It just made too much sense. You announce CM Punk coming be on SmackDown because it's in Chicago. This man happens to quit. So during I forgot whatever the heck. Oh yeah, Grayson Waller promo and
it was
Grayson Waller and DIY
getting into it with DIY, and they heard a bang on.
Get them belts off of. Anyway, that's a different story, a different day.
Yeah.
Either way, pretty much all you hear is violence occur off screen by the garage door, and next thing you know, it opens, and you got Drew McIntyre in the bright light background, like a death angel,
like a Terminator, G.
Death angel, Death angel. Look with CM Punk on the ground, just dead, bloodied and dead. The next thing you know, and then he lifts him up and drops him in front of the Chicago crowd and says, "Is this your king?" No words, just straight violence. Wipe the man's blood on the entrance ramp. I'm like, you gotta respect it, G.
What I liked about how they led into that is that whole interaction. You would have never really thought, like, obviously we was kind of expecting something to happen, but honest to God, I was thinking that Austin Theory was supposed to pop up in that segment, even though he said he wasn't there. But I thought he was, like how they've been kind of playing around with their relationship a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be something completely different. Like, that kind of caught me off guard. That's the first time in a while, like, something on TV has caught me off guard. I wasn't really expecting that to happen right there. So that was cool.
Yeah, it was definitely a funny moment. Trey, your thoughts on CM Punk getting caught lacking in his own hood?
Nigga, we in Chicago, bro. How you don't know not to get caught lacking, bro? How you ain't got your joint on you, man? How you ain't got it on
right,
you,
but him and Cody both had bats earlier.
What's a bat gonna do to a god, nigga? Drew McIntyre carried that nigga like he was helping him carry the cross or something, bro. Like that nigga had him on his shoulders,
He
dropped him in
came out
front
and
of
said,
his
"This is
crowd,
not your savior."
made the nigga bleed. Folks coughing up blood. Like, come on, man. Like, what? This. I'm trying to think of which Dragon Ball moment was absolutely like that.
A Dragon Ball moment.
Oh my god, bro. I can't even think.
When Android what was it 17 when she beat the shit out of Vegeta?
Shit.
No, that was in front of the homies. Like if he want now, if he beat him up in front of the crowd, yes, but it wasn't. It was behind the scenes. Closest would be no. Well, you could say Yamcha getting pulled up on by the androids would be the closest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Second,
That was a good moment.
that was a fun moment. That was hilarious. But so yeah. So later on, by the way, Cody gets asked by Randy and KO like, "Hey, you know the bloodline, they coming for you, bro." And Cody says, "I got a plan." I'm like, "Okay." So in a way, they got the numbers advantage. It is 3 of them. Oh, by the way, Solo said, "Hey, Roman ain't coming back to Paul Heyman. That man's soul just Paul Heyman's losing hope. That man just knows like, gee, they're gonna kill me, G. they gonna kill me, bro." He just knows it's gonna happen. I just feel bad for Paul Heyman, G. That man wants help so bad. That man's
And I did not think that it would be, because nobody really likes to see Paul Heyman in a face type of role, but you have to feel bad for him, bro. He's around. He calls them criminals on a regular basis. He is scared for his life.
Like, it'd be one thing he was like trying to be the lovable face. He's the I'm in peril.
I need help. I need an adult right now.
I need some real niggas, G. I need real niggas. But so Solo just telling him that.
So Roman ain't coming back, man. You and me.
Like, gee, please. So anyway, Cody versus Solo happens for the main event. Cody pretty much winning, technically won the match either way. Then when KO and Randy comes out, and next thing we know, another Samoan appears. It's like, so this time we get the Samoa that we've been wanting, not the Tama Tonga, not his brother who ain't worth a damn. And I'm sorry, G. That man was a Mexican, bro. You can't sit there. That man was booked as a Mexican years ago on a bike. You can't sit and tell me that I'm supposed to give a damn about this guy. So with that said,
that shit will forever kill me, bro, because I remember that to this day.
Oh man, he was Camacho, bro. He's Camacho forever, bro. He got to earn his last name, bro. Anyway, moving on, we get the Samoan that we've been wanting, which is Jacob Fatu, and that man just comes out violence once again, destroys Randy, destroys KO.
Ate a super kick, bro. Did not
ate the hell out that super kick.
Goldberg no sell that super kick, bro,
and killed that man. Proceeds to destroy Cody and drops that man like pure comedy. And now we're just like, well, here's another Samoan with no regard for human life. And at this point, if I'm Paul Heyman, I'm like, bro, you gotta like send a letter, like you gotta mail a letter through a pigeon to Roman, like, help me,
please come back soon. Now
so you just gotta have like a week and just a small segment where he's sending carrier pigeons and it to like Jay, Jimmy, and Roman, like, help. Like, gee, it'd be hilarious as hell because, like, gee, that man is pressed. He don't got his bloodline phone no more.
There's nothing else he can do, and now they adding this next member means that it's not gonna be no space for him, bro. They finna get rid of him.
Look, man, it's really not. But we'll see where things go because at this point, it look like for Money in the Bank, we're getting Solo versus Cody. So now he has to have his. I gotta beat these Samoans' ass. I gotta fight through these Samoans to get through type situation. So we'll see where things go in regards to that. But violence was the thing for the whole week, bro. And I respect it. Shout out to Triple H restoring the feeling with blood and violence. Uh, and you just have to
Meaningful.
respect it. Meaningful violence, like very meaningful violence. Because with that said, we gotta talk about the other company real quick. Unfortunately, I apologize, but this is how we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up with some hate and slander. So AEW Juneteenth was this past Wednesday, and they trying to blame black people. They're trying to blame Kendrick. They trying to blame everybody but themselves for the fact that their ratings was ass. I know
Hey, that shit ass, bro.
that shit was horrible. Like, look, man,
They said
NXT.
ever since that segment where they dropped the backstage tape, they've lost 300K since then. So
like you had a steady drop every week to the point where in NXT, like the only thing carrying NXT is kind of the women's division because the men's division's cheeks in itself. That's going through a whole total recall in itself. So shout out to them trying to work on that. But NXT ratings has continued to either be an ebb and flow of like we're staying around between 700, 800K, whatever. Meanwhile, you're struggling and you spent millions on one of the four horsewomen, one of the best Japanese wrestlers ever, and then quote unquote the best wrestler ever in terms of Will Ospreay, and then you're probably about to give Ricochet millions, and you have nothing to show for it at the end of the day but a ratings drop. You have a black champion that nobody gives a damn about. Everything's screwed for you as a whole. Everything. You're just screwed. Yo, pretty much one of your top guys in terms of Omega. That man is literally dying. His body's just saying, I can't do this no more. I don't know why you want me to do this anymore. Leave me alone, stream and play video games, my brother. Please. That's what his body wants. Pause. Daniel Bryan is literally saying, hey, I'm reeling it in. This is probably my last full year as full time.
No, it is. He said once his
that's what I'm saying.
Contract is up in August. He said he's only doing part time after that.
See, so he's about to be doing whatever. Edge decided to jump off the cage and just be a tweak.
Edge does not need to come back.
You put him against Roosh. Like, bro, as a company, you're failing. As a booker, you're failing. And you know what just happened? Your daddy just gave Trevor Lawrence $250 million fucking dollars to be mid.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. I'm not even, for one, I don't follow the Jaguars like that, but I did like recently see that and heard other people talking about it. It's like, and I know who Trevor Lawrence is. I'm like, I don't think he wanted to do that, but can't tell nobody what money.
I just looked at the statistics like before we recorded because one of the last episodes we did a month ago, Trevor Lawrence is going to be the reason why AEW goes bankrupt. The views for that episode have gone up the past week, by the way. So it's
keep following us, man. See the downfall.
Like, I'm not lying to y'all, G. So you telling me that you're paying these, like I said, great talents. Like I said, I have no problems with Okada. I have no problems with Sasha. I have no problems with Ospreay. I don't have no problem with MJF. I don't have no problems with the people that you gave millions to. But at the same time, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, which is move your freaking needle. It's moving it the wrong direction. So with that said, you are tweaking. And then on top of it,
he's not putting them in. You don't put your guys in position to move a needle, bro. They don't. What is any of them doing that's genuinely meaningful? And it's like, whether they want to really admit it or not, storylines do matter. Some type of continuity does matter. Like you have to be. You did all, like you said, you did all of this for what?
Hey, so the other company won't have them. Which, hey, I get. It happens like that in free agency. Teams pick up players that they don't really want because they don't want the division rivals to get them. It happens. It's stupid business, honestly, because that's a waste of money. But it is what it is when it comes to that. But your ratings are faltering, and on top of it, you're coming to Chicago. I think a couple of weeks, and you still haven't sold it out yet. You haven't even sold it out yet. So, with that said, you're doomed. You are doomed as a company. Y'all trying to blame Kendrick and his hate concert pretty much for it. Y'all tried to blame Juneteenth when your demographic aren't even black people. It's not. So with that said, y'all tweaking. I feel bad for y'all as a company. And hey, at the end of the day, with Vibe doing their What Killed WCW thing for the billion What Killed WCW documentary series that we've had, but Vice doing their other one with produced by The Rock, which is nasty business. And I'm just hearing the things. You fall in the same route, especially while you have Turner, who's ran by a horrible CEO right now. When WCW took a fall, it was too much going on at the top, and a lot of them didn't mess with wrestling. And meanwhile, you have a guy who is fumbling everything going on in Turner right now, and you're hoping that this man gives you another TV deal, or don't shortchange you, which he's really about to do right now. Like the man is kind of pleading.
He was willing to give up the NBA, bro.
He's kind of. I heard he's pleading to hopefully that Adam Silver makes them a fourth package and they just get a few games. I'm like, bro, no,
it's too late. Nah, they finna get everything and more from NBC and whoever else.
Well, that announcement is probably gonna happen by the end of this week. They said that a couple weeks after the finals, they're going to officially announce the TV deal. So we'll see when that gets announced. We'll talk about that probably by the next episode. But yeah, they're in a really bad position, and it sucks. It really do. It sucks.
Yeah, because again, it's like all slander aside, I do agree that wrestling does need a company like AEW because all of this everything, even the little that they do generate, it helps the business. Like, we're not saying, we want AEW to fail and go away or whatever, but it's like you're not pulling enough in for me to give a damn.
Pretty much. You're just constantly setting yourself up. But let's go ahead and wrap. Daytra, anything you want to say before we wrap up?
No.
Cool. All right, so that's it for this week's episode of Threes from the Ring. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, share, let your homies know you rock with us. Check out previous episodes because a lot of the stuff we've been talking about, we talked about previously. So make sure you check that out. And if you haven't yet, follow us on Twitter/X at Threes from the Ring, 3S from the Ring. Follow the Facebook page, Tweeking Media as well. Like that page as well. We appreciate you guys for listening. Peace.
Peace.